In the following unit square ABCD, M is the midpoint and BD is the diagonal. Find the area of the shaded region. So now the unit square means that each side is going to be 1, 1, 1, 1. And there's a midpoint M, so we have 1/2 and then we have 1/2. Okay, so now what I want you to do, I want you to draw a height here. And the reason being is that we're going to use it in the process of finding the similarity of the triangle. So notice that the shaded triangle is similar to unshaded triangle. And why? Because we have the vertical angles, we have the alternate interior angles here, right? So this one and this one precisely, right? You can think of MC as the transversal, right? So thus these two angles are alternate interior angles, and that's enough to conclude the angle-angle similarity that these two are similar. So if we label this as H, the area of this shaded triangle will be 1 times H divided by 2, which is simply H over 2. So if we find H, we easily find the area. So what remains to be seen now is that if you extend this height, and I'm going to show it with another color, if you extend this height, it's not the best one, but if you extend this height, you will name this as 1 minus h, right? Because the whole square side is 1, so 1 minus h is the remainder of the h that we drew. So now, since the two triangles are similar, you can use proportion. So in other words, you're going to say MD over this height, 1 minus h, is equal to BC over h. Right? So transcribing this to numbers, we get 1/2 over 1 minus h is equal to 1 over h. Cross multiplication gives us 1/2 h is equal to 1 minus h. Solving for h, you get 1/2 plus 3 over 2 times h, right? Because you add h on both sides, right? And then the coefficients are matched together, they're added, right? 2 over 2, in other words, here, right? So that's equal to 1. Right, so as a result, 4 over 2h is equal to 1, which is 2h is equal to 2h is equal to, oh, sorry, not 3 over 2, this is 2 over 2. I made a mistake, right? 3 over 2 is the result. So we can say this part is going to be what? This part is going to be 3 over 2h is equal to 1, so h is going to be equal to 2 over 3. Right, so since h is equal to 2 over 3, the area is going to be that h divided by 2. 2/3 divided by 2. These two guys multiply, right? You get 2 over 6, which is 1/3. Right, so the area of this is 1/3. Now the second method of doing it, I'm going to do it on this side, is to treat this as a fraction of the entire area. Treat this area as the fraction of the entire area. Okay, so basically, as we decided, MD, this side, takes 1/2 of BC. So in other words, BC is twice MD, right? And the same thing can be said here. Okay, H, this is 1/2 of this, right? So we would have to label it differently a little bit, and I'm going to erase it so that you can see it. Let's have this. Let's have this one instead called. Let's have this one instead called H. This one. So since this side BC is twice this one, this height of this triangle will be also twice this one. So you can say 2h for this one, right? Now the area of this triangle is going to be what? 1 times 2h divided by 2. Right, which is equal to what? Which is equal to h. Okay. Now, what is going to be the side of the square? The side of the square, right? The square side in terms of h is going to be 2h plus h, right? So 2h plus h was equal to 3h, right? Now, here's the deal. We have to change the area. We have to change the area and actually make that 1 in terms of h, right? Because we said that 1 was equal to 3h, right? That's the square side. So the area of the square is going to be what? This times this, right? The square of this whole thing, right? So 3h squared, which is 9h squared, right? 3h squared is 9h squared because the number gets squared. So now if we, instead of 1, we're going to put 3h because that's the square side, right? So 3h times 2h over 2 is going to be what? The 2's cancel out, right? So as a result, we will have what? We will have 3h squared, right? So now taking this area and dividing it by the square will give us the fraction and the area, in other words, of the shaded region, right? So the area of shaded region is thus going to be 3h squared divided by the total square area, which is 9h squared, right? So as a result, look what happens. Beautiful result, right? The h squared cancels out, the 3 becomes a 1, the 9 becomes a 3 in the process of reduction, right? So as this is going to be 1/3. So you see, you've got the same answer using two different methods that are really fun and interesting. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.